It's week 4 of the NFL, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Steelers and the Colts, and it comes your way next.
From the crossroads of America, we're at the center of Indianapolis, Indiana, as we get a look here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many, many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback.
That really does make it a measuring stick game for both of them, Kate. Rookie quarterbacks in the draft, they're always linked to each other from the moment they're tabbed the starters in their first season. And then when you get to look across and you get to play them, you know that both of them want to be the one who leads their guys to a win, because that's a victory that'll be talked about both for the rest of their rookie season and beyond.
Coming into this one, somebody's going to get back to 500 here in week 4 as away we go. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So out come the Colts for their first offensive possession. And it'll be their rookie QB who brings them out.
Nobody came away happy last week, no question about it. Himself, most of all. His team went 0-1, picking up the loss. He was 0-1. One pick, no touchdowns. Not good enough. Defeat not an option this week, and neither is a lack of touchdowns. They intend to rectify both.
Throwing on their first play. Gets this one to Pierce. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
And now this defense is on that sack board and sets up a pretty good chance here on 3rd down. It's a little bit like blood in the water with sharks when it comes to taking sacks. You can feel it as a quarterback. Once that defense gets one, they're hungry for another.
And the Steelers going nickel, 3rd down. He'll throw it. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down. The Colts ready for the punt. And he'll punt it away to end a disappointing opening drive. He punted a couple of times last week in their loss, and now gets this one away. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. So here are the Steelers now, taking over for the first time. And amidst the veterans, it's this rookie quarterback leading them out.
Even he mentioned it to us. There hasn't been much celebrating for him since last week. While other guys were taking in the win and enjoying some time to relax, he was reviewing what went wrong in that game. An interception, not finding the end zone. That's not the type of impact that usually finds you a win. But he knows he's got to do more for his team.
And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Try and throw it here. Finds him over the middle. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
The goal of running that drag route is to get him to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. He picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there. He's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
Short pass caught by his tight end. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Brought to the ground by Cameron Bynum. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 32. Metcalf there to bring it in. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's a Steelers 1st down. Working inside the red zone. It's caught Metcalf. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Throwing it again here. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. Shotgun handoff to Warren. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. No gain that time, and now it'll be 2nd and goal. Back now, pressure on its way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they're headed in reverse after that sack.
All right, first sack on the board, and the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Throwing from the gun here. It is cut left side. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it. I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Colts with their offense out, their 2nd drive coming up. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening 1st down as they take the field a 2nd time. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Ron starts with an option, right side. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. Now after battling on that run, we see one of their linemen appears to be injured and in need of some attention. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. He'll look to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up. Back to throw. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Looking to return from the 29. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And the Steelers will take over possession. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. They'll throw to begin this drive. Into the hands of Pat Fryermuth. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It goes for a 38-yard pickup. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. Hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Zaire Franklin there to make the tackle. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Setting up a throw. Left side, caught by Metcalf. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. They have themselves another 1st and 10. Warren here from the gun. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4. looking to throw. Cut near the goal line. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. They find 7 yards, and now they've got first and goal. Goal to go, they're passing. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers stretch their early lead to 9. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw up plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your second read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
Chris Boswell for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers go up 10-zip here in the first. Now Boswell on to send this away. Has this at the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now the Indianapolis offense heading out. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
Here's the first carry for Jonathan Taylor. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Darius Slay with the stop. A look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. From the 31. Short pass caught by his tight end. Pick up of a few as he heads out of bounds. 3rd and just 2 to go. Option gives to Taylor. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused. And they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
Rigoberto Sanchez on the punt. And they could really use a good one here. And he's had a very busy game already, Brock. 3rd time they've called on him as he gets this away. And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it's going to be their football coming up. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Ryan meet there, bring it in. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs. Quite the start to that drive, huh? The first play sets him up now at the 38. A give left side to Warren. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap because the holding call pushes him back quite a ways. Back to throw now. And for the first time, one of his throws doesn't find a home. It's incomplete, but boy, what a streak he had to begin this game. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Looking for a throw here. Fits it through the middle. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a Steelers 1st down. He'll throw it yet again. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. And time runs out before they get the snap off. That's the end of 1. It's a two-score game early. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Lucas Oil Stadium after this. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They'll have second down as they look to continue this good drive. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
When we think about safeties, I mean, it's just right in the name, right? The safety is the last line of protection in the passing game. We don't think of them as blitzers. But, Kate, let me tell you, for a safety blitz to get home, they got to be great disguisers. They can't show that blitz early. That safety didn't, and the quarterback took the brunt of the contact.
And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
So many coaches love third downs and practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game or already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these third downs. Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Now Boswell on to send this away. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Colts ready to take the field. And it's not good, Brock, when you're discussing their punter as one of your early game MVPs, but they just haven't been able to get anything going so far.
No, you'll hear some old school coaches, especially defensive-minded coaches, Kate, and they'll say, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with the drive ending with a kick, right? As a quarterback and as an offense, maybe that was the way you played the game back in the day, but not modern football. You've got to go score.
Here's 2nd and 11. Taken in by Pierce. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. To the air now on 1st and 10. This is reeled in by Pittman. He's got a gain of 6 there. Darius Slay with the stop. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 43. He's got Pierce. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. That's a pickup of 9. And it'll be first down, Colts. Still sticking with the passing game. On target to Downs. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. It's a pickup of 11. And it's good for an Indianapolis first down. They are throwing it again. Short pass brought in. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 32. He's got it over the middle. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And it'll be first down, Colts.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Into traffic, complete. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And for the first time, one of his throws doesn't find a home. It's incomplete, but boy, what a streak he had to begin this game. From the gun on 3rd down. He's on the move. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The Colts make it a one-score game in the first half. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Here's a return from the 7. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. And they'll have a little momentum as they take the field here after their kicker drilled a deep one to end their last drive with points. They go play action on first. And the Colts get to him. He goes down. And a big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
We've got enough data now through the years to understand that an explosive play on offense more often than not leads to scoring. We also know if you can create a negative play defensively. In a tightly contested game like this, every play matters. And to get that negative play, put this offense on their heels, exactly what this defense needed.
Man in motion here. Trying again, following the set. Completed over the middle. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Trying to throw here out of the gun. He's going to try to drop it in deep. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You've got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Sets him up nice and pretty at the 25 following that big play. Pass play on 1st and 10. Forced out to his right. He's on the move. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
2nd and 6 now. Left side caught by Metcalf. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. They'll come up 1st and 10. Trying the left side with Warren. And they bring him down pretty quickly at the 10. 3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. He's going to throw this one. Splits it. And completes it. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Boswell to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers bump the lead up to 13 points. Now Boswell on to send this away. Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Colts offense set to head out. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start this series with an option left. The ball ball's out. The ball's out. He lost it. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. And I'm pretty sure, Brock, they hadn't even all sat down on that sideline yet to rest. And now they're right back out there with a great chance to repeat their last touchdown.
And you will take that every day of the week and twice on Sundays. You don't mind at all. You got that defense right now reeling out to the touchdown. Look at where they start with the football now.
Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. He sends this one to the end zone. And he's there to send that one away incomplete.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that's just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Coming in the goal line. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. 3-touchdown game for the rookie. That's pretty good in your debut season, Brock. But then you look at the clock and you see, oh wait, we still have a whole half of football to play.
Yes, when some of that psychology comes into play, don't just be satisfied. You can look at it one of two ways. I'm satisfied with what I've done, or you look at it and go, I got another half. I can throw 3 more of these babies.
Boswell gets that point after to go. And the Steelers push the lead to 20. Now Boswell on to send this away. He fields it from the 8. This return makes it up to the 25. The Indianapolis offense ready to take another swing at it. They watch their fumble turn into points, so feeling maybe a little bit of an urge to make up for that now in this series. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They go play action here. He throws a bullet to this. He's got it deep downfield. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 37 on the play. And it's good for an Indianapolis 1st down. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Indy. It's the Colts looking at 1st and 10. New set of downs for him at the 38. Throwing now on 1st down. Hauled in by Downs. And he'll be out of bounds just a yard or 2 short of that 25. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Looking to the air here. Finds his man Downs. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Taken in by Pierce. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. They'll throw it again. Has it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Straight ahead with Taylor. And he's in for the touchdown. The Colts chop some of the lead off before the half. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Gay to add the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Colts drop the lead back to 13. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Throwing it to start this drive. He's on a quick hitter. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. The Steelers calling their first time out. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Short pass brought in. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Rolling left, buying some time. He's going to keep it this time.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate sleeping quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corralling behind the line there. Give aids them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage. Now, this is one of the occasions, Kate, where this defense got to just keep chopping wood. Keep chopping wood. I know they're a little more careful about actually having axes in locker rooms anymore after injuries, but the mantra is the same. You can't look at the scoreboard nor worry about what you're off.
Space, left side, and he's off to the races. There it is, touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers get more points to end a lopsided first half. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. And that, Brock, I know you're keeping track, but just in case our audience isn't, his 4th first-half passing touchdown. At the pace he's on, this would be a new record if he has a second half to match this one. Boswell to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers push the lead to 20. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. All right, some adjustments in store, no doubt about that. They're headed to the locker room trailing as he kneels to end this first half. That brings us to the break. The Steelers taking a lead into the visiting locker room. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Darnell Mooney, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
How to handle the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. He stopped on the return at the 27. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. come out throwing. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. He's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers grow the lead coming out of halftime. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Now Boswell on to send this away. This return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. Here comes the Colts offense now for another possession. This has become must-score territory now every time out as they trail by a full 4 possessions in this second half. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. We get a stoppage here. One of their big blockers up front. In some pain following that play. He's being attended to. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Dropping back to throw. Finds one. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the first.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it. Throwing now from the gun. Buys time, rolling right. He's running with it. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. They'll throw it. On target to Downs. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. 2nd and 3 now. From the 39. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll be 1st down, Colts. They're going play action. Ball's out of the pocket. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That sure ended up being worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And he gets this one down to the 30-yard line. It goes as a gain of 7, but somehow twice that, 14 yards to go here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert. Working inside the red zone. The throw is caught. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal. Taylor does not score. They not only stop him, they backed him up a couple of yards.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
Another shot for Taylor. And he's brought down for a loss.
This offense may want to try and disguise their run a little bit. I don't know if it's the O-lineman's stance. I don't know if it's a cadence. I don't know what it is, but after 2 straight plays going backwards, this defense is all over them.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And that brings up 4th and goal. Here's Matt Gay for the Colts field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that brings it back within 3 scores at least. The gap now 24.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Return coming from the 6. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Now Pittsburgh's offense running back out for a new series. And all the touchdowns are sure going to catch some eyes around the league, but sure not unexpected for those of us who saw how well he was throwing it back when he got his first couple of scores.
Yeah, and if anything, he's only continued to improve and play better as this defense tried and failed to find any way to slow him down.
They'll start the drive with Warren. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. Counterplay here, Warren. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
These edge defenders in the league today, Kate, they've got so much on their list to do. A huge to-do list. They got to get to the passer, they got to set an edge, and they got to stop that run game, not just on the end of the line, but in that case, right in the middle of the field.
Complete beyond the marker. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
On 1st down, Warren.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump. Defense that came at the perfect time.
And this one doesn't go far. Only 2 yards on the run, and they're left with 3rd and 11. Pass play coming here. Throw left side finds Freiermuth. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he'll bring in this fair catch at the 13. The offense headed back to the field. And as much as we thought we'd be watching highlights here, talking about this passing game, Brock, it's been the guys on the other side of the ball who've come in and stolen that spotlight.
Yeah, and in an offensive-driven league, and one that's sometimes even legislated that way, it's nice and refreshing to see a defense put together an effort like this.
Amen.
Be the ones everybody's talking about for how well they've played on their side of the ball.
He finds Woods. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 19-yard line.
From the gun, Taylor. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger. But that back remains hungry.
2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. the carry, though. It's 3rd and 7 now.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
They're throwing it. Defender runs right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, I know some old school coaches, maybe some former NFL quarterbacks who would have this guy running stairs after that drop, partner. Hit or no hit. That was a catch there that would have meant a first down.
Yeah, that's why that's old school, okay, Kate? The new school coaches and quarterbacks know how hard it is in this league with the contact. Know how valuable those contested catches are. Credit the defense for making the play on that one.
We've got a stoppage now. There was a player shaken up on that return, so we'll take a brief break as they tend to it. Ball at the 33 for first down. Start of the ground here with Warren. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
He'll throw on first. Finds him over the middle. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Metcalf there to bring it in. And they make the stop, I'm going to say at about the 37-yard line. They're now set for 1st and 10. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Well, his first real mistake, that's intercepted. And the Colts are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season.
The best defenses you can go look at through the decades are built from the inside out. And that's not just stopping the run on the inside out. That's playing recovered from the inside out. That's a beautiful job by the defense of taking away the middle of the field, getting that interception, and setting their offense up for success.
Now outruns their offense to take over. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And he gets him around 6 there. Minka Fitzpatrick in on the stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They go again with Taylor. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Getting out to his left. He's running for it. He's finally caught, and he lost the football. Oh, no, it's out. And this is going to stay with the offense as he makes the recovery. So we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. The Colts have it to start the 4th, but given that score, whew, they're going to need points every time out from here on. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun here. Completed over the middle. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop.
Okay, one thing I learned from the late great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Second chance at 6 here. It's 2nd and goal. It's a gift to Taylor. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Running with Taylor. And he's going nowhere there. Add that to what's been a tough afternoon for him. They don't gain anything, so another goal line stand brings up a 4th down decision.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
They're going Taylor, and he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. And he will not get there. They stop him on 4th and goal. What a stand to force that turnover on downs.
You know, Kate, it's almost like the defense was in the offensive huddle before the play. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run, and the reward is they get off the field.
The Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Even though they've got a 3-score lead, still a lot of time left, so they're going to try to grow it even further. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a 1st down pickup.
And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. Even 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. Short side option here, he's running left. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game. Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. As soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
They bring on the punt team, and they get this kick away. And that fair catch brought in just beyond the 30-yard line. The Colts headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Airing it out to start this drive. Finds the in route complete. He's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. He's dropping back to throw. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now it's 3rd and short. Throwing from the gun. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he goes out. Just needed one more step there to reach midfield. 1st and 10. Ball set up at the 48. Throwing it again here. Take it in. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 43, he's got Pierce. And he's able to get this down to the 36. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 1st down, ball at the 36. They are throwing it again. That's complete to Pittman. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. just couldn't corral it. And that takes them to third down. Pass play now. It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up fourth down.
Man, that ball looked good out of his hands. It just couldn't get through the defense cleanly. Somebody tips it away and saves a potential completion.
Here he goes. Got to have this on fourth down. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Darius Slay has it. And the Steelers will take over as he records his first interception of our season. The fourth down call ends in a defensive highlight as he picks up the throw and gets his guys off the field.
You know, one way or another, it looked like they were going to get off the field that time, but it's so much sweeter as a defense to run off that field holding the ball. So many defensive coaches in this league preach it. It's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. Not only the energy you create on your side, but that little seed of doubt you put in the quarterback's mind the next time he goes out to throw it.
Warren running between the tackles. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
On second down, Warren. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him about 3 yards, and now they're going to have 3rd and 5 to figure out. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Indy. Steelers nearing their 2nd win of the campaign. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Warren once more. And he's short of the first after a mile gain. It's a 4-yard run. Wow, that leaves him just a yard short on 4th down.
A modest gain on the counter. A good recovery there from the front 7, Kate. They bought the fake initially, but adjusted just in time to limit the damage headed the other direction.
The Steelers set to punt it. Corliss Waitman will kick it away. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And hey, at least he held onto the football, but they will get nothing on that return. The Colts ready for their next series. Led out on offense by their quarterback. And you may as well call him a constant headache that this defense has had to deal with all game long. I mean, they game plan to slow down his passing work, but it's been his rushes that have really broken the spirit of this unit. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. This is reeled in by Pittman. And they catch up to him, but not in... The Steelers come in and take this on the road. And they carried some of that winning football from last game into this contest. Now a modest little win streak blossoming for them, Brock. They've got 2 in a row as they get out of here with a victory.